Hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, adjusting the speed on your Rikon 30-212 VS drill press. Now the Rikon boasts two different speed ranges. In the lower range, it will be from 150 RPM to 700, and in the higher range, it is from 600 to 2800 RPM, and it's all dependent on how you have the belt configuration done. So let's head over to the drill press and see how it is that we adjust the speed for starters. Okay, so over here at the drill press, you have your usual controls with our plunge mechanism here, and the one difference on the Rikon is we have this lever right here, and this is what controls our speed on our drill press. And I'll just show you how that works. Right now I have it, well, it's pretty much as low as it'll go, 140, 150 RPM, and as you take this lever and you pull it forward, the speed will increase. Now it does that by pulling the belt and changing the shape of our center pulley to make it smaller or larger. And that of course changes the ratio, and it changes our relation between the center pulley and our chuck to either speed it up or slow it down. And the more that you move that lever, the higher speed it goes, until of course the belt is as big as it can be over in the center pulley and you get the maximum speed out of it. So the only way to change our speed here would be to change our belt configuration on the back end. Now at this moment now, what we have is the configuration is the large pulley on our center shaft and the small pulley on our motor or the rear shaft. And for that, that will give you your lowest range between 100 and 700, sorry, between 150 and 700 RPM. But the question was asked, how do you change the belt to the next speed? And that's what I'm going to show you here now. Well, I can tell you for 100% certain that if you have it in this configuration here on a higher speed of the drill press, you will not be able to change your belt speeds. The reason for that is it pulls the belt too tight and doesn't give enough movement between the pulleys to give you the play that you need to change the belt speed. So the first thing that you want to do is lower your speed right there. And you'll do that just by pushing this lever to the back of the drill press. Well, there you go. We're about 160 now. That's good enough. But you want to lower your speed. The next step that you want to do is loosen the set bolts on the body of your drill press. There are two of them, and they both look identical. They're both located, one on this side right here, and on the opposite side, the exact same position, you'll have a second one. So you'll want to loosen them counterclockwise, and that will loosen off the set of your motor. Well, if you have your motor leveling bolt set, which is right back in here, you may want to take a wrench at this point and loosen it off. This will give you the extra play that you'll need in the belt in order to change the speed. And now with this in the low speed setting and our bolt free and the motor set screws loosened, we can now use this lever right here and give it one little twist, and that will release the tension on our motor. You can see here that the belt is now sloppy. From there, it's as simple as lifting it up slightly and rotating the belt, and it will rotate onto this upper pulley, just like that. And once you get that in place, you can rotate this onto the larger pulley here of our motor belt, and then reverse the process. So we will push back for tension, trying not to get my arms in the way of the camera. Push the drill press back for tension here with this lever, and those two little set knobs that we loosened earlier, tighten those back up. And at this point now, you have switched the pulleys and switched your configuration. What I would do at this point is I would level up that motor again so that that belt is running true and not rubbing. And in order to do that, you just use the motor leveling bolt that's between your housing of your drill press and your motor in order to set the motor's level. And at this point, with all of that done, you can just test your speeds. Now for me, with the type of work that I do, I prefer it to be in the lower speed range. And for that, that is the smaller pulley on the motor and the larger pulley on the center configuration. So to get back to that, we will just reverse everything we did, starting with lowering our speed down. And once we get that lowered, we can release the tension on our motor leveling screw. And with that done, we can loosen both of our retainer bolts here on each side, and then using our handle, release the tension on the belt, just like that. Starting at the back now, you always want to take your belt from a large pulley to a small pulley. Don't try to go now from this large configuration here to a large configuration here. You want to take it down to the lower pulley first to give you extra slack on the belt. So we need, for the lower speed configurations, we need the small pulley here at the motor and the larger pulley here at the speed control spindle. So we will just ease this down now, down below the track of the belt, and just spin it and it will release, and now it is in the smaller pulley section here. And then on this side here, we will just line up our belt just at the edge and let the machine do the work. And just rotate this center pulley so that the belt locks itself in place. And there we go. It is now set. So from here, you can tighten your belt tension again with your lever right here. And once you get that done, then you will tighten your set knobs on either side of your post. And as simple as that, we're back to normal. Now, you may also want to, at this point, set the level of your motor. If you guys remember, I had an issue here with this thing being very noisy. And that noise, turns out, was created by the motor not being level and the belts were rubbing. So I'm going to level up that motor now, and we can put it back to its normal speed configuration then. Now, one thing that I have between the leveling bolt and the housing or the body of the drill press is I have a thick piece of rubber. It's not necessary, you don't need it. I just put it there to cushion any vibrations and to minimize extra sound, and it works well. So if you have this, great. If you don't worry about it. You don't need it. So let's get that motor leveled out, and then we can be done with this. And just like that, you're back in business, and you can adjust your speed as you see fit now. And there you have it. adjusting your spindle and belt configuration to adjust your speed ranges on the Rikon 30-212 VS drill press. Guys, there have been some of you out there that have been having problems with this, and I can see why. This drill press has two belts. It has the belt that runs from the motor to the center adjusting speed pulley, and then it has a larger, thick, wide belt that runs from that adjustment pulley in the middle to your chuck. There isn't much play there, and if you don't adjust the speed of your drill press, it doesn't give you enough play to be able to loosen off that belt to be able to make the adjustments that you need. There are just a couple things that you want to remember. Number one, reduce your speed for this drill press. Number two, loosen off, if you need more room, loosen off your leveling bolt of your motor. Number three, make sure that when you're adjusting your belt, you are adjusting, your first adjustment is always from a large pulley to a smaller one. That will give you the extra slack to make the next adjustment that much easier. But your first adjustment will always be from the large pulley to the small. If you try to go the opposite way around, you're just not going to have enough slack in that belt to the motor to be able to make that adjustment. As long as you follow those three little rules, for the most part and in most cases with the Rikon variable speed drill press, you really can't go wrong at that point. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in today. I know it's a shorter show than normal, but you know what? I had a request for this. I had several requests for this, and honestly, it's a great show idea. And if one or two people, or even just one person is having an issue with it, well then why not put it here on the show, help that person, and maybe help those that are sitting in the background that didn't want to ask, but can benefit from the information that's provided. If you haven't already, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell so that you don't miss the notifications of future episodes of the show. We have a lot of fun here on Tuesdays. It can be pretty much anything you want. And then, of course, there's the Friday woodworking episode of the show, and I hope you're going to tune in for that. I hope this has been helpful to you if you have this drill press, or even if it helped you with some techniques for the drill press that you have. And I honestly hope that you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another Alternative Tuesdays.